It's 7:14 a.m. and I'm supposed to be up at 7:15 for this appointment. I want to sleep. Just got in the car to go to the appointment. Waiting to do labs with my tribe.
Your entourage.
Bracelet. Just left getting my blood work and labs done. Now we're waiting for Dr. Hoffman. We actually just met him in the hallway. Very nice guy. The tribe. Having lunch, drinking kombucha. So I had my my first hematology appointment today. I went to the Sylvester Cancer Institute down in Miami. I'm in love with my doctor. He sat with my brother and I for 2 hours trying to figure out what the next steps are. Obviously couldn't have all the answers because there are still some tests that we have to do. It's looking really positive. He used the word cure in our meeting. Oncologists never use the word cure in meetings, and we even said that to him, and he was like, well, yeah, this is curable, and we're going to cure it. I'm going to beat this. We looked at some of my blood work and my scans. I'm anemic. Makes some sense because I have been a vegetarian for the past 5 or 6 years. Now I just eat fish, but now actually I'm on a raw diet. He was very supportive in my holistic approach. We did talk about chemo. I'm going to need chemo. He is ballparking that I'm at stage 2B, but obviously we can't confirm that until I get my PET scan. But currently the cancerous cells that we know of 100% are right here, and then right here. We got my abdominal ultrasound back today, and that didn't show any swelling in my abdomen, so that's good news. They do need to do the PET scan to see if there are cancerous cells in that area, though, so I'm doing that next week. The doctor ordered me a PET scan, a bone marrow biopsy, an echo, a cardiovascular exam, which is my breathing exam, like my lungs. I have to get a port. When you go through chemo, the chemo can burn your veins. They'll numb the area, they'll do the incision, and then they're going to attach a port to one of my thicker veins. And then the port will be in here, and then they're going to close it up. And then every time I have to do chemo, they're going to stick a little needle in the port, or whenever I have to give blood, and then it'll come through there, so that'll prevent from the burning of my veins, which is amazing. Going to Disney World tomorrow with my brothers and my niece. We are going to have a good time and get our mind off of things a little bit just for the weekend before I have to jump into getting these tests and being probed and picked. And my spirits are high. After meeting with the doctor, I was a little bit anxious and scared before. I had a few moments where I broke down at the doctor when we talked about chances of becoming infertile. Having children in my future is one of the most important things to me. Chances of that are 5%, so I'm going to stay over on the 95% side. I updated my grandfather today on what's going on. For those of you that don't know, my grandfather is actually fighting his battle. It was also hard for me to tell him because I didn't want him to get stressed, because when you're on chemo and when you're going through something like this, getting stressed and being upset is probably one of the worst things to be. After thinking about it long and hard, I decided that I believe in always sharing information with each other and being open, because we're a family. My grandparents are the most amazing people. I think that was the hardest part about this, is having to tell them, because I know how much they love me, and that's just the hardest part, because it's scary, even though it's so curable and everything looks like it's going in the right direction with this. That C word, man. It's pretty whack. I also told my dad that we don't really speak that often, and he's a very religious person, so he automatically went to saying he was gonna pray all night for me and ask me to keep Sabbath. And different reactions from all sorts of places. They say that it could have spread down below my diaphragm, and I just don't think that it has. Insurance pays for a wig. We did talk about the possibility of me going back to LA. We talked about the possibility of, starting chemo here and then moving. He made me very hopeful that I will be back in LA soon. He always had a solution. He always had a plan. If this is what I want to do, this is what we can do. He did say that, being around family and having people that will unconditionally love you and be there for you all the time is something that's really important. Back in LA, I was just really happy. I told my brother actually a few weeks ago, I'm the brokest I've ever been, but I'm the happiest. Sometimes I don't feel that way in Florida. I just also don't want to delay my graduation. I can't stress about anything until I know what stage I'm at and what my treatment plan is. Until then, happy thoughts. If I'm gonna have any cancer, it's gonna be this one. Today was a good day. Obviously, I got anxious at times. I cried a few times today. I want you to know that crying is healthy, and we're all gonna cry sometimes, and we're gonna laugh. I laughed a lot too, a lot. My family's hilarious. We laugh 98% of the time. It's so weird. You never think it's gonna be you. You never think that you're gonna get cancer. I don't know anything about this stuff. I'm just learning this. How many times can I look in the mirror and say that until I believe it? You don't. It's like, what? I have these moments where I'm like, I have cancer inside my body. It was a really long day, so I came home, I rested on the couch, fell asleep, woke up, and could barely even move. I was so tired. That those are going to be a lot of my days in the near future. So at least I'll be getting a lot of sleep. Say it with me. Everything's gonna be okay. Take back my life.